The wildcard rule has been an ultimate flop. Will WWE repair the damage with the WWE Draft? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 11th October 2019 episode of Friday Night Smackdown on Fox, examining the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, as well as your latest wrestling news, including Sasha Banks' health status, the WWE press conference in Vegas, AEW news, and much more. Friday Night Smackdown is coming to you from the T-Mobile Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, and your hosts are Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Smackdown opens straight in with Roman Reigns versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins in a non-title match, but the winner gets to make the first pick for the WWE Draft. A fist bump is given by both Shield brothers, showing mutual respect, but it's all business afterwards. It looks like this might be going for a while, but the lights go out and the Fiend comes out of the ring. No, not out from backstage, out from under the ring, locking in the mandible claw on Rollins and pulling him under the ring. The Fiend pops his head out from under the mat apron as the lights go out, but when the lights go back on, Rollins is climbing back up into the ring while the Fiend stands on the stage. Seth Rollins wins by disqualification, thus Raw gets the first pick in the WWE Draft. Stephanie McMahon shows up and is surprised the fans aren't booing her, a rare occurrence in the WWE. She announces the draft picks so far, as Becky Lynch to Raw, Roman Reigns to SmackDown, the OC to Raw, Drew McIntyre to Raw, and Bray Wyatt to SmackDown. Next up we get a rematch from last week, as Shorty G, formerly known as Chad Gable, takes on King Corbin. Corbin mocks the fans, then proceeds to get his win back from Gable, escaping the ankle lock and catching Gable with the end of days. There are more draft picks, as round 2 sees Randy Orton moving to Raw, Sasha Banks jumps to SmackDown, Ricochet stays on Raw, Braun Strowman goes to SmackDown, and Bobby Lashley remains on Raw. There's a video recap of the Tyson Fury vs Braun Strowman confrontation, and Paul Heyman enters the ring with his client and WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Heyman informs the fans that Cain Velasquez did in fact defeat Brock Lesnar back in 2010, but Lesnar makes no excuses. Heyman says Brock will conquer his fears at Crown Jewel when he meets Velasquez. And then all of a sudden, Rey Mysterio's music plays and he and Velasquez show up. Rey has some screenshots from UFC 121 where Velasquez brutalized Lesnar and scarred his face. Velasquez, translated by Rey, promises to scar the other side of Lesnar's face at Crown Jewel. Next up, a 6-man tag as the OC take on the New Day, and this is the battle of WWE's two best trios that sees the leader of the New Day pin the leader of the OC after Kofi Kingston hits AJ Styles with the Trouble in Paradise. The draft's third round picks are made, with Alexa Bliss going to Raw, Lacey Evans going to SmackDown, Kevin Owens heading to Raw, The Revival staying on SmackDown, and Natalya staying on Raw. They don't even take a break as round 4 is next, as the Viking Raiders stay on Raw, the Lucha House Party head to SmackDown, Nikki Cross goes to Raw. I'm not sure why they didn't just put Bliss and Cross together, but anyway. Heavy Machinery stays on SmackDown, and the Street Profits go to Raw. But with the draft over, it's now time for the main event, as SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair takes on Bayley. Charlotte Flair comes out as normal, but there's something different about Bayley. She's now gone full on heel, as she has a new hairdo, but then more shockingly, she brings a spike out and kills the Bayley buddies. Tragic. About time we got rid of those stupid things. But it's a fierce battle as Bayley dishes out the punishment to Charlotte and the champion returns the favour. However, Bayley catches Flair off guard with a roll-up, surprising her for the win. Bayley is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Bayley celebrates by cursing out the fans as her new theme music plays. But that was a quick recap. What about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly? Let's start off with the good, as number 1, good matches and the draft. The WWE could have slipped into the trap of focusing on the draft at the expense of SmackDown's wrestling content, but they didn't, putting on some marquee matches as well as featuring a subdued confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez. There was no way SmackDown could match last week's star-studded premiere, but week 2 was a solid effort. Number 2, a women's main event. Putting the SmackDown Women's Championship match in the main event was good, not only because it showcased 2 of the women's division's biggest stars, but it programmed new fans to realize the women's division is no sideshow to the men. Whether or not the new viewers agree remains to be seen, but it was a bold move by the WWE and one worthy of applause. Number 3. A big game feel. Regardless how sports fans feel about the WWE being part of Fox Sports, Fox is using the sports stars to help get the WWE over, and it was evident tonight as sports stars showed up and the draft seemed more important than it has in years. If the WWE can sustain this momentum going into Raw, it will be a good example of how both shows can help each other, even if the rosters are kept separate and the show airs on 2 different channels. Number 4. A fiendish debut. Fox wanted Bray Wyatt and they got him, with The Fiend making an impressive appearance on SmackDown and continuing his program against Seth Rollins. It was a good way to open up the show, even if it did mean a non-finish for Rollins and Reigns. Number 5. Bayley's heel turn. Bayley's heel turn was executed so well tonight. She popped those stupid buddies, gave us a new attitude and cursed out the fans, while also proving she is still the top star on the blue brand. Bayley is now a full-on heel, and we love it. But that was the good. What about the bad as number 1, dumping on the OC? Unless the New Day moves to Raw to feud with the OC, it was disappointing and pointless putting the New Day over the OC. Did the WWE want to appease Kofi Kingston and his fans by giving him a pinfall win over AJ Styles after Brock Lesnar squashed Kingston last week? Or does the WWE see the New Day as a better team? Either way, the OC looked bad tonight. Once again, for the second row in a week, there was nothing ugly about the show. The WWE put in a solid week 2 effort, and once the 2 rosters are finalized, the company needs to focus on making every show an event, creating new stars, and taking full advantage of the heavy promotion it's getting from Fox. The WWE can't afford to go back to SmackDown's previous booking as a listless show where few things of interest happen and storylines drag or disappear without notice. Let's move on to the news, as WWE's Vegas press conference reveals a whole lot of information. Today's WWE press conference officially announced 2 big matches for Crown Jewel, with Braun Strowman facing Tyson Fury and WWE Champion Brock Lesnar facing Cain Velasquez. However, it's currently not known whether the WWE Championship will be at stake. WWE Crown Jewel will also feature Team Hogan of Seth Rollins and Rusev so far versus Team Flair of Randy Orton and King Corbin so far, as the 2 WWE Hall of Famers will coach a handpicked team of 5 superstars for a 5-on-5 tag team match. Next up, is Ronda Rousey returning? Triple H also commented on whether Ronda Rousey will ever step back into a WWE ring, with the game answering, "She's coming back," but not clarifying other than to say it would be sooner rather than later. Next up, Cain Velasquez signs with WWE. Today's WWE press conference confirmed speculation that former UFC fighter Cain Velasquez has signed with the WWE. According to ESPN's Mark Raimondi, sources told ESPN that he has signed a lucrative multi-year contract with WWE and has also notified the UFC of his official retirement. He has been removed from the UFC's United States Anti-Doping Agency drug testing pool and the UFC heavyweight rankings. It should prove interesting what role Velasquez will fill once his program with the Beast ends. Next up, Fox and USA's influence on the draft. The WWE mentioned that the USA Network and Fox could split up teams if they wanted an individual, but just how much say do Raw and Friday Night SmackDown's respective networks have in the draft? According to PW Insider, executives from the networks were involved, but the WWE made the final determinations. The company is keeping the draft plans heavily under wraps. Fox was said to have wanted Bray Wyatt and they drafted him tonight, which shows the WWE is giving the new host of the blue brand what it feels will make SmackDown successful. Next up, there's an update on Sasha Banks' injury. Although the details surrounding Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks' Hell in a Cell injuries have been vague, PW Insider reports the boss is dealing with some sort of tailbone injury. While there is no current return date, Wrestlelamia will keep you updated. There's also some big matches for AEW Dynamite. As while AEW Dynamite's second week ratings decreased, the company seems to be looking to rebound its third week, adding some big matches to the show. First, the Darby Allin vs Chris Jericho match for Jericho's AEW World Heavyweight Championship is now a street fight, so skateboards are officially allowed. Second, AEW announced that Hangman Adam Page will team up with Kenny Omega to battle Pac and Jon Moxley. And sadly, the video ends on a little bit of sad news, as WWE backstage interview Kayla Braxton took to social media to reveal a major loss to her and her family. Last night I dreamt I was with my granddaddy. We were joking like we always do. He looked at me and told me that we may not see each other again, and I told him I promised I'd visit again very soon. When I woke up, I had a text from my mother that my granddaddy had passed away. Wrestlelamia sends its condolences to Kayla and her family. But there you have it, guys, your 11th October Friday Night Smackdown recap, as well as the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, and the wrestling news. What did you guys think of tonight's show? What would you add to the good, bad, and ugly? Let us know your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.